Hi, I'm Tim Forrest. I'm excited to share with you today some comments regarding market area and the responsible business owner in the food industry staying within their 64 to 240 mile radius of their home market. And I'm going to get right into that. If this is the first time seeing one of my videos, be sure to like and subscribe, and it very much helps the algorithm for you to be the first to be notified that there's a new video out on Thursday, or the helps other folks to be aware that we have these food videos as well. So today I want to talk about market area and growing your food business effectively and responsibly and successfully long term. So, I see 20 something thousand food products fail in the first year in the food business. And I wanted to share with you one of the reasons that happens, and that's fast growth, too fast growth, and food operators not understanding their business. I'm going to share several examples and some insight into this in this quick video, and then also I've got a free resource for you at the end of the video. So just real quick, one of the constraints that I share with my clients is looking at our market area. So I want to constrain and think about our market area as a 64 to 240 mile radius around the production or sales office for their product and where they distribute the food products. And there's lots of reasons that I want to do this when we first start with a business. But this is not something we want to expand and go forward quickly. We want to maximize our opportunities within our home market. So let me just share with you some of the client projects that have come to me over the years and what's not effective. So number one, I had a client in North Carolina come to me, and they were very interested because of a family relationship in opening up a business with a retailer in California. And that's not the way we successfully grow a food business. Generally is going across the country for our first account. They did not even have a single retail account in North Carolina, much less opening retail accounts in California. Just not the way to do it. I had another person approach me, was interested in help with Walmart. They had never sold anything retail in the food business. They wanted to go straight to Walmart. I remember another project where they wanted to get on the Oprah Winfrey show. They had no business. They had no national distribution. They did not even have distribution outside of their city, much less the states around. They thought that was the way that would grow their business if they were on Oprah Winfrey, which was not where you want to be placing your product when you're at the beginnings of your business early on for food products. So I'll give you an example. So I worked with a company in Oakland, California, and they had not, this was a purchased food company. They were selling nationwide, and since the owning of the business, they had purchased the company from the founder for approximately 8 years. They had owned it. In those 8 years, they had never made a profit, and they were selling nationwide. They were doing about $8 million in sales, and what changed the business, what made it profitable for them, is when they quit selling east of the Mississippi River. So they just discontinued all the any sales calls, trucking, any of the work that would take to support a brand east of the Mississippi River. They discontinued that. That was the first year that they made a profit. And to give you an understanding of kind of the insight, we did a study. We looked at within 100 miles of Oakland, consumers in that market were buying $400 million worth of their category. So their category had $400 million in sales for their product within 100 miles, and they were going nationwide in hopes to sell, and they were only doing $8 million. So this goes back to what is so important when you think about a home market. So what are we talking about with home market? We're talking about consumers. So what is the population of your home market? How many millions of people or how many people live within your home market? And whatever, if we expand that out to 240 miles, what is the population? And so when I say population, I want to know consumers. And so that gives me something to think about and a rule to kind of work through. And the next piece is we want to increase our sales. So in the stores that we're in, There are instances where I'd like to do 10 times what an average is in our market. And so the way that you're going to be aware of that is you're going to have to track that. You're going to track your population. You're going to track your shoppers in your accounts. And you're going to do things so that you're 10x, you're 15 times what an average item is in your market. And when you grow a business and you're successfully growing a food business, we want to be successful in our home market. And we don't want to add additional doors to gain revenue. We want to gain additional revenue from our existing accounts and from our home market. And we want to be very successful before we do that of any kind of a large size. And so I want to share with you some food products and some insights that you may or may not know. For instance, Cozy Shack. Cozy Shack was just purchased for several $100 million by Land O'Lakes in Minnesota. I love rice pudding, and so it's just a fantastic. Also, their tapioca pudding is delicious. I've actually done a video on them here. But it's important to note, they did not leave the state that they started in. They were founded in New York. They stayed in New York for 20 years. 20 years before they left the state of, before they started calling on business outside the state of New York. Another one. This is an amazing one. Bluebell Creameries. They were the #2 ice cream in America, and they were only selling in the state of Texas. 50 years, Bluebell Creameries did not sell outside the state of Texas, and they were the #2 brand in ice cream. That's what I'm talking about. When I talk about growing a food business, that is truly success. One of my clients, Nadine, she was able to sell 50,000 pounds of chicken salad from one retail location. We weren't adding stores. We were gaining more consumers, more consumer acceptance. We were selling to more shoppers with our programs, and that's really what it's all about. In-N-Out Burger, they're famous for being a California chain. They're now expanding, but for 20 years they were not outside the state of California with the locations. It's same thing with Cheesecake Factory. So Cheesecake Factory, they were 20 years before they ever opened a location outside their home state. Now it's, if you're watching this anywhere in the United States, you've heard of probably eating at Cheesecake Factory because it's a nationwide brand. Same thing with Tillamook, if you're familiar with Tillamook cheese, along with many other products out there. Tony's Pizza, White Castle. So White Castle, same way. I think White Castle, like 40 years, decades anyway, from the time they started to when they started thinking about going outside of their home state. And recently, Wawa, from my travels early on, I was familiar with Wawa and the Sheets in the Northeast, but it hasn't been, it took them more than 20 years, actually 40 years before they left the region and they opened up locations here near me in the state of Florida. And so that's just some insights I wanted to provide for you about don't cross the state line. People are asking, hey, should I go to the Fancy Food Show East, West, etc.? I'm saying you shouldn't be leaving your city. You really should not be traveling more than 200. In early stages of your food company, it shouldn't be traveling more than 60 to 240 miles from your market area. Now there are obviously there is a lot of discussion around this, but in general, you have no business taking your product nationwide and adding more doors when you really don't even have a successful business model in your home market, much less to expand that nationwide. Hey, I've got another resource for your food business, and that's my latest book. I just published it in February. I'm excited to share this with you. I'll pay for the book if you'll take care of the shipping, and I'll get a copy to you immediately. So everybody's got a recipe. This is the 5 proven ingredients that I've used to scale my clients to millions of dollars. Would love to send you this book. I can get you a free copy of the first chapter at gettimsbook.com. Also, if you're interested, I'll send you a softbound cover of the book if you'll pay the shipping and get it to you. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have an innovative product, would love to talk to you. Jump on my calendar at timforrestmarkets.com. If you have traction, an innovative product that has traction in the market, and you have growth plans for that, would love to talk to you about it. Would be very curious what you're doing. So again, jump on my calendar at timforrestmarkets.com. If you got a question, you can just send me a note. My email, tim@timforrest.com. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a great day.